Welcome, nature enthusiasts, to another exciting journey into the icy realms of the Arctic, a world of frost and snow where the sun barely rises in winter and never sets in summer. This is the land of the midnight sun, where the northern lights paint the sky with an ethereal glow. It's home to an amazing array of wildlife, from the majestic polar bear, the cunning Arctic fox, to the hardy seals and walruses, all adapted to survive in this frozen landscape. But the Arctic is changing. The ice is melting, the permafrost is thawing, and the world as these animals know it is shifting under their paws and flippers. In this episode, we're going to take a closer look at these Arctic inhabitants and the challenges they're facing in a rapidly warming world. But as temperatures rise and ice melts, how are the survivors of the Ice Age coping with these changes? Let's start with the kings of the Arctic polar bears. These creatures are the epitome of strength and survival, masters of their icy domain. Their bodies have adapted to the harsh conditions of the Arctic, from their thick layer of blubber that provides insulation against the biting cold, to their white fur that camouflages them against the snow. But perhaps the most critical adaptation is their dependence on sea ice. Polar bears are excellent swimmers, but they are not aquatic animals. They rely on the sea ice as a platform for hunting their primary prey, seals. When the ice is thick and expansive, polar bears can roam far and wide, stalking seals as they come up for air through holes in the ice. However, the story is rapidly changing. With the climate warming at an alarming rate, the Arctic is losing its sea ice. The ice is not just melting earlier in the spring, it's also forming later in the autumn. This leaves polar bears with a shrinking window to hunt and build up their fat reserves for the long, harsh winter. As sea ice retreats, polar bears are forced to swim longer distances in search of food. Some bears have been observed swimming for days, covering hundreds of miles without rest. This not only exhausts them but also increases their risk of drowning, especially for cubs that can't keep up with their mothers. Moreover, with less ice, there's less opportunity to hunt seals. Hungry and desperate, some polar bears have resorted to scavenging, raiding bird nests, and even cannibalism. It's a grim picture indeed. The plight of the polar bear is a stark reminder of the far-reaching effects of climate change. It's not just about warmer temperatures and melting ice, it's about the disruption of delicate ecological balances and the survival of species that have evolved over thousands of years to thrive in specific environments. As sea ice retreats, polar bears face an uncertain future, but their struggle is not in vain. It's a wake-up call, a reminder that we share this planet with a myriad of incredible creatures, and we have a responsibility to protect them. Now let's shift our focus to the Arctic fox, a true master of adaptation. These creatures are the epitome of resilience, living in some of the harshest conditions on Earth. Their small, compact bodies minimize surface area that's exposed to the cold, and their thick, bushy tails are used like a warm blanket during those biting Arctic nights. One of the most remarkable features of the Arctic fox is its ability to change its fur color with the seasons. During the winter, their coats are pure white, blending perfectly with the snow-covered landscape. This camouflage not only helps them avoid predators but also makes them stealthy hunters. As spring comes and the snow gives way to the tundra's rocky terrain, their coats shift to a brown or gray color, allowing them to remain unseen in the new environment. However, as winter snowfall becomes less predictable due to climate change, their winter white coat can become a liability rather than an asset. Imagine being a white creature in a landscape that's increasingly becoming brown or gray. You stand out, making you an easy target for predators and causing your prey to scamper away at your approach. But the Arctic fox is not just a passive victim of these changes. They are resourceful hunters, able to change their diet depending on availability. From small mammals and birds to berries and carrion, they take what the tundra provides. And their incredible hearing allows them to locate and dig out small rodents hidden beneath the snow. Moreover, these foxes are known for their ability to travel great distances in search of food. They have been known to follow polar bears, feasting on the leftovers from a bear's kill, demonstrating their opportunistic and adaptable nature. However, these adjustments may not be enough to counterbalance the impacts of a rapidly changing Arctic climate. As the snow cover decreases, the Arctic fox faces new survival challenges. The question we now face is, how can we ensure the survival of these incredible creatures in the face of an uncertain future? Their fate, as with many Arctic species, lies in our hands and our actions today. Walruses and seals, essential components of the Arctic marine ecosystem, these fascinating creatures have a unique relationship with the icy environment that they inhabit. The ice provides them with a much-needed platform for resting, breeding, and escaping from predators. But what happens when this platform begins to disappear? Both walruses and seals are well adapted to their icy habitats. Walruses, for instance, with their long, sharp tusks and incredible strength, are able to haul themselves out of the freezing waters onto the ice. Seals, on the other hand, have developed a thick layer of blubber that provides both insulation against the cold and a significant energy reserve. However, as Arctic ice continues to melt at an alarming rate, these ice-dependent species are being forced to adapt to an increasingly unstable environment. For walruses, the loss of sea ice means less space to rest and breed. This can lead to overcrowding on land, causing stampedes that can be fatal, especially to young calves. Seals too are feeling the pinch. Many species of seals give birth on the ice, using it as a safe platform away from land predators. As the ice disappears, these seals are forced to give birth in less ideal conditions. This threatens the survival of their pups, as they are more exposed to predation and harsh weather conditions. Moreover, the rapid loss of ice also affects the food availability for these marine mammals. With the ice acting as a hunting ground, its disappearance could lead to a decrease in the abundance of their prey, making it harder for them to find food. So you see, the melting ice is not just about a change in landscape, it's about a fundamental shift in the way of life for these incredible creatures. With diminishing ice cover, these marine mammals face a new set of challenges. The Arctic is changing, and the walruses and seals are trying their best to keep up. But the question remains, how long can they sustain in the face of these changes? Only time will tell. Arctic migration, a spectacular phenomenon involving birds like the Arctic tern. These avian adventurers embark on an extraordinary journey each year, flying thousands of miles from pole to pole. Their resilience and endurance are nothing short of awe-inspiring. But as the Arctic environment transforms, these intrepid travelers face an increasingly uncertain future. Imagine, if you will, the daunting task these birds undertake. They navigate vast distances, often battling harsh weather and unforgiving winds, only to find their destination drastically changed. The Arctic tern, in particular, is known for its epic migration, traveling from the Arctic to the Antarctic and back again in a single year. But what happens when these birds, who have evolved over countless generations to master this journey, find their traditional nesting sites disappearing, or their food sources dwindling? Indeed, the changing Arctic climate poses significant challenges for these migratory species. Warmer temperatures are causing ice to melt earlier in the year, disrupting the timing of their migration. This can result in birds arriving at their breeding grounds to find that the insects they rely on for food have already hatched and gone. Moreover, altered weather patterns can lead to more intense and unpredictable storms. These can be particularly devastating for migratory birds during their journey, forcing them to expend more energy and potentially reducing their chances of survival. And it's not just about the journey. Changes in the Arctic environment are also affecting the habitats these birds return to each year. Rising sea levels and melting permafrost are causing coastal erosion, leading to the loss of nesting sites. At the same time, warmer temperatures are enabling predators and competitors from lower latitudes to move north, adding another layer of challenge for these Arctic migrants. As the Arctic environment changes, so must the migration patterns of these remarkable creatures. It's a grand and intricate dance choreographed by nature, now being rewritten by the impacts of climate change. The resilience of these birds is a testament to their incredible adaptation abilities, but it also serves as a sobering reminder of the pressing need to address the environmental challenges facing our planet. As the Arctic undergoes unprecedented changes, the lives of its inhabitants are at a crossroads. Each species, from the mighty polar bear to the cunning Arctic fox, is grappling with new challenges as their icy home transforms. The delicate balance of this extreme ecosystem is faltering, and the time to act is now. We've journeyed together through the icy wilderness, witnessing firsthand the struggles and triumphs of these remarkable creatures, but understanding their plight is just the first step. The Arctic doesn't just need our awareness, it needs our action. Whether it's reducing our carbon footprint, advocating for sustainable practices, or supporting organizations dedicated to Arctic conservation, every effort counts. Together we can help ensure that the Arctic continues to thrive, safeguarding its unique biodiversity for generations to come. Let's not just be observers of nature, but active protectors. Let's take a stand for the Arctic, for its wildlife, and for our planet. Until next time, stay wild and stay curious.